With the recent introduction of Bill 23 by the Doug Ford government in Ontario, the future of real estate investing has changed. And it's changed for the better. The biggest change that this bill brings is it allows us investors to build up to 3 units on a property by right. What that means is that we don't have to go to the city anymore to get approval to build these units. Now, obviously, we still need to make sure that they're safe and that they adhere to building code, but you can now build it on your property. This is a huge win for us because it allows us to build density. Before, we were only really able to build 2 units, a duplex. If we got lucky, we might have found a 3 or 4 unit, but then again, we can't really build those because we had to worry about zoning before. And even if you found one, you were really lucky. They're really hard to come by. But now, with everyone being able to build 3 units, this is a game changer for us. Now, there's a lot of ways in how you can get 3 units on your property. Now, you might get 3 units all within the existing building. So you've got a main floor, and then the basement you split up into 2 separate units. That's one option. Another option is you've got your main floor, you've got your basement, and then you build an ADU as well, so an accessory dwelling unit. If you've got a garage, you could actually convert that into an ADU, and that helps to decrease some of the construction costs as well. Or imagine building 3 within your existing building, so you've got your 3 units, 1 on the main floor, 2 in the lower level, and then you've got an ADU as well, so that could be a 4th unit. Now that hasn't come out yet, but I anticipate that that's where we're going. The municipalities will want investors to build density, and this is a great way for them to be able to get that done. Municipalities haven't announced this yet, but I'm pretty sure 4 units is coming down the road. Another reason that this is so great is builders are only really building density. They're building up. They're building condos and townhomes, going to increase even more. So if you're able to get one and then convert it into 3 or 4 units down the road, that's going to add enormous value to that property. Imagine the appreciation you'll get. Imagine the cash flow that you'll get on a property like that. On top of that, demand for rental units continues to increase as development has slowed for a lot of properties because of the increasing interest rates. It's just too expensive for them to build. And you know what that means. That's just limiting supply even more. Again, this is an opportunity for investors to come in, build rental supply, and get rewarded financially. There's a lot of demand coming in. In fact, Canada gets as much immigration as the US, even though the US is almost 10 times the size of Canada from a population perspective. Okay, so you want to make this work, you want to build 3 units on your property. What are the things that you need to look out for? So if you want to get the highest and best use, there's 4 things that I would keep a lookout for. The first one is lot size. So you want to make sure that you have enough space in the back if you decide to build an ADU, or that you have a garage there that can be converted into an ADU down the road. The style of home and the square footage. So one of the best options is a bungalow because they tend to be a lot bigger from a square footage perspective. And the basement, it ends up being the same amount of square footage. So let's say you've got 14 or 1500 square foot on the main floor. The basement would also be about the same much. So if you divide that into 2, you could build 2 units that are 700 or 800 square feet each, which is a nice size for a 1 or a 2 bedroom apartment. The third thing I'd look for is if there's an existing garage. Now this is less of a requirement, but if there is an existing garage, it allows it to be easier to build out an ADU because you already have that existing structure. And the fourth thing you want to look out for, and this one's really important, is basement ceiling height. If the ceiling height isn't high enough, then you won't be able to build a unit in there. It has to meet certain requirements, and if it's not high enough, it's not going to be safe, it's not going to be comfortable, and it won't be legal for you to rent that out. Okay, so now you've decided to build one, you've found a property that meets all these requirements. What is the biggest barrier you're going to face? It's the financing. Because the strategy is so new and there won't be a lot of 3-unit conversions out there, when appraisers come in to appraise the value of the property, they won't really know how to do that. They may only look at this like a duplex with 2 units because they haven't seen a 3-unit before. So the issue with that is when you go to refinance your costs, you may not get the maximum value and you'll have to leave a lot of that renovation money that you spent within the property itself. So you may not be able to pull out all your money right away in a refinance, and you'll probably need a lot of cash to build that out, especially since you won't be able to get it back right away. Regardless, there's still many options. You could get private funding, you can work with a joint venture partner. There's lots of possibilities out there. And regardless, if you decide to do this, you will be rewarded financially down the road. So what do you think? Is this strategy something that you'd be interested in? Are you gonna do this? Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what you're thinking. And if it's not for you, let me know that as well. Maybe there's a different strategy that you like better. I'd love to know what it is, and comment below. All right, that's all for now. See you next week.